What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like, subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this guy, Wemby. Uh, Running Back Podcast was talking about Wemby, and the question came up like, is Wemby the MVP? Right. And so he just had another great game, put up like 41 points and against oh man, I forgot who the team was. We can already find out in a second when I play this audio. But the Bulls. So he just put up a 41 points against the Bulls, right? And Wemby he just raising the bar in the NBA. And so when you have a guy that's going to raise the bar, that means he's going to bring everybody and like teams with him. Because if you don't want him to dominate, then you're going to have to increase your level of play too. So this is what Wemby's doing right now is good for the NBA. He's dominating at both ends of the court. I just hope that Wemby can stay healthy, so we get to see these guys, Wemby, get challenged by these different teams around the league. He's a guy who wants to be the face of the league, so I just like it. You know what I mean? I just like watching this guy play. When he first came to the league last year, I was like, I wasn't really too sold on him. I was like, the guy's 7'5". Let's see what he can do. But man, I'm impressed. He came in last year and played really good. Now this year he's playing even better. So yeah, I'm impressed, man. I like his attitude. Like I said, and so I'm going to play the audio from the Run It Back podcast. Then I'm going to come back and give some more of my input on what I think about Wemby and do I think he should be the MVP.
Lots of good players. And then there's this guy, Wemby, who's very clear in that he deserves it. He wants it. And he drops 41 last night on the Bulls. But it's not just that. 41, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks in 31 minutes. But it's the fact that he set an NBA record for the fastest double-double. Did it in 8 minutes, God. Boogie. Talk to me about 10 rebounds in 8 minutes.
10 rebounds in 8 minutes, in my opinion, is just, like I just said from the beginning, it's just like, that's dominance. That's all that is. Even if the Bulls that's just dominance, especially when you're talking about you playing against other professional basketball players, and it really ain't no other way to describe it except for that's just dominance. If you don't want him to block your shots or snatch 10 rebounds in 8 minutes, then you're gonna have to make some adjustments.
Like, what does that mean? What is that like?
Well, I'm starting to question the Bulls. That's a lot of misses.
I didn't want to say it, Boogie.
I don't want to take any credit away from Wemby, but I think it's more the Bulls' fault than it is Wemby.
How dare you?
But no, all credit to Wemby. That's, for me, rebounding. That's an effort thing. You have to go out there. You have to put urgency behind that. You have to go out there and want to go grab every rebound that comes off. So that's all effort for me. And in 8 minutes, that's incredible. I couldn't do it. I'll tell you that now. I couldn't do it.
Huh.
But credit to him. But that's something, it just goes to show how special this kid is, how bright the future really is for him. He, regardless of, the stat line SGA has put up, this kid is still making a case. Like I said, I think this thing is going to go all the way down to the last game as far as making a decision. I'm accustomed to seeing guys kind of take their foot off the gas towards this point of the year, especially when you already have your playoff spot. You want to make sure guys are healthy, fresh for this playoff run. But, the way this MVP race is going, it's going to go all the way down to the last game. And Wemby said, hey, I'm still alive. I'm still here. And I'm going to make you guys notice me all the way to the end of this season. So credit to him.
So, look, Wemby scored 40 points in 41 points in 31 minutes. So, again, this guy's not even playing a full game. Just imagine, once he matures and they feel that he's strong enough to endure a full NBA game, and this guy start playing, entire games, man. 40 points, 41 points in 31 minutes. Then on top of that, double-digit rebounds in like only 8 minutes. Against any professional team, any professional athlete, getting all those rebounds, that's effort. Just like, like Boogie Cousins said, that's effort. That's somebody who wants all of those rebounds, man. He going after it because he want it like that. So you got to take your hat off to him. I'm not sure if he'll be able to catch SGA in that MVP race, but what I will say is SGA better win it now, because if this guy keep playing like this, I don't know, how, like next year and the year after, like how are you going to be able to give it to somebody else when you got this guy playing like this?
I respect
That's
it.
crazy. You respect it, Lou? What do you got, Chandler?
It's just it's a damn shame that SGA had 47 last night and did what he did, right?
It's
I think we would have
crazy.
opened up.
Chandler, didn't I tell y'all yesterday? He's very much aware of what's going on.
He's hearing it.
Yeah.
He's hearing it.
He's aware.
Yeah.
You think, yeah. So listen, there's no denying what Wemby can do. And I think when we see someone his size do what he does, like he just literally jabbed, made the defender turn around the other way and hit a step back and had the defender completely lost at 7'6" from 35 feet from the rim. Like, and that's not even what he does best. You know what's really scary about Wemby is he only plays 29 minutes a game. Like, if they could somehow get this guy up to 34, 35 minutes a game, I don't know if that's ever going to happen just on his body type and his youth and how they're going to try and preserve him and, not overwork him. But he doesn't play that many minutes either. His stints and rotations are a little interesting, the way that he's kind of in and out of the game. If you can get his minutes up, can you imagine the impact? And then maybe his offensive numbers would even be as gaudy as these other guys. He could be up closer to that 28, 29, 30 points a game. So I think there's still so much growth with Wemby on the offensive end, just adding to his game and his body and playing more minutes. We know defensively no one can touch him. He can win Defensive Player of the Year the next 5 years in his sleep. That should matter when it comes to voting. It's just a tough task right now when you have SGA and the Thunder kind of like a little bit ahead of them always and a little bit better than them, and they are the champions. And so it's like he's got to get over that Thunder hump, I think, to fully get like that MVP and that respect and status of the best player on the best team. Because right now, that's SGA and the Thunder. And yeah, the Spurs have had some success with them regular season, but they're still like the little brother to the Thunder until they knock them off in the playoffs.
Yeah, Wemby playing 29 minutes a game and putting up I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a couple more years, at least around a couple more years before they start playing Wemby bigger minutes. Probably 2 years, maybe the end of next year, next season. They might increase his minutes slowly but surely. But I like what they're doing. They're making sure that this guy is, they're monitoring him and making sure that he don't get out there and have some type of injury where it's going to cost him long periods of, extended periods of time missed. So I like the way they manage him. And if you in a situation where you can manage a guy like this and still win, then I think it's great. I think it's a unique situation, but I think it's great. And I spoke to on my live podcast when I was saying about how guys like Greg Oden, Sam Bowie, guys who stayed injured for most of their career could have learned or maybe could have benefited from restricted minutes early in their careers, and might have had, who knows what had happened if those guys had been able to stay healthy or even manage their situation differently, like what Wemby did. But again, I do think that the reason why they're managing him like this is because of, they seen what happens to these big guys when you just throw them out there in the NBA with that rigorous schedule and that workload. That's what happens. So he's benefiting from people knowing how to manage these big guys.
Yeah,
I feel like Wemby's going to have a bunch of these at some point. If it's not this year, that's fine.
Hell
That's how
yeah,
it feels.
most definitely. And listen, and even if he doesn't get this one this year, which I don't, I think it's SGA's. But we said it at the beginning of the season. The MVP award is SGA's to lose. It's for him to give it to somebody else. He hasn't done anything to put anybody in that position. He's kept himself in the driver's seat of that conversation. There's been no fall-offs. There's been no inconsistencies. At most, there's been some games missed because of injury. And as soon as he comes back, he's right back in a position of putting teams, putting them on a back burner. So if Wemby's case is to go get the number 1 seed, which I would be a respectable thing. If he can go out and get that number 1 seed and top those guys at the top of the hill on the West, I might have a different opinion on this, but I don't think he's going to have that opportunity. You look at games like last night when it looks like Detroit is going to be a favorite and they're going to pull off an upset. SGA just locks in and he puts a team on his back and he makes the right plays, whether he's scoring it or giving it to a Williams in the corner for a key 3. He's going to make the right plays to keep himself and his team in the position possible. So Wemby is doing everything under the sun to be a part of this conversation. And I love it and I respect it. I just don't think SGA is allowing him to get in that driver's seat just yet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so that's why I said that SGA, you know, if he win it this year, then he, you know, but he got to definitely be on the watch out, because this guy Wemby, man, is definitely he coming for everything. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.